Some towns are clinging to cliffs, others sit in craters or float in the middle of nowhere. They defy logic, geography, even gravity. These are the places that make you ask, how is anyone living here? Today, we're counting down 10 of the world's most impossible towns that somehow still exist. On the edge of the North Atlantic, surrounded by misty cliffs and crashing waves, sits Gásadalur, a tiny village once only reachable by hiking over a mountain. For years, fewer than 20 people lived here, isolated from the rest of the world. Imagine carrying groceries up 700-meter cliffs. There was no road, no ferry, just footpaths through fog and fierce winds. Only in 2004 did they finally carve a tunnel through solid rock. But even today, the village feels frozen in time, nestled between sea cliffs and silence, with a waterfall tumbling straight into the ocean. It's haunting, it's stunning, and it barely makes sense. Welcome to the underground town of Kuberpe, where most people live beneath the surface. This outback mining town gets so brutally hot, regularly topping 113 degrees Fahrenheit, that locals build homes, churches, and even hotels into the ancient rock. Life here feels like a sci-fi movie. Streets above are scorched and empty, but underground, cool, quiet tunnels stretch like mazes, hiding entire communities. Kuberpe is also the opal capital of the world, attracting treasure hunters and oddballs alike. It's remote, surreal, and unlike any place you've ever seen. How about living inside a volcano? On Aogashima, a tiny island south of Tokyo, people actually do. It's a double caldera, a volcano inside a volcano, with just 150 residents, no airport, and a ferry that often can't dock due to rough seas. Yet it's somehow self-sustaining. They use geothermal energy, grow their own food, and rely on each other in this isolated paradise. But the volcano is still active. The last eruption was in the 1700s. Locals live with evacuation drills and an ever-present awareness. Nature rules here. From afar, it looks like a giant rock in the sea, but hidden behind its cliff face is the medieval town of Monemvasia, carved directly into the stone. There are no visible roads, no cars, just winding alleys, ancient churches, and crumbling walls that once protected it from pirates and invaders. It was entirely cut off from the mainland until a causeway was built in the 20th century. For centuries, it was one of Greece's best-kept secrets, and even now it feels like stepping into a living time capsule, where history isn't just remembered, it's inhabited. Located on the Svalbard archipelago deep in the Arctic Circle, Longyearbyen is the world's northernmost town, and one of the most surreal places you'll ever see. Surrounded by snow-draped peaks and endless tundra, it looks like a remote outpost on another planet. But here's where it gets strange. Due to the permafrost, bodies don't decompose. So for over 70 years, burials have been banned. If you're terminally ill, you're asked to relocate to the mainland to live out your final days. There's even an old cemetery, but it's long been closed. There are more polar bears than people in Svalbard, so stepping outside town legally requires carrying a rifle. In Setenil, Spain, houses aren't just built next to the rocks. They're built under them. Giant boulders hang over narrow streets, forming natural roofs for homes, cafes, and shops. It's part cave, part town, and 100% gravity-defying. The rock provides natural insulation, keeping homes cool in summer and warm in winter. It looks risky, like one earthquake away from disaster, but locals have lived this way for centuries. And the result is one of the most bizarre and beautiful streetscapes in the world. Tucked in the mountains of northern Morocco, Chefchaouen is famous for one surreal feature. Nearly every building, alley, and staircase is painted blue. Some say it was started by Jewish refugees in the 15th century. Others claim it repels mosquitoes or keeps the town cool. Whatever the reason, it creates a dreamlike scene. Wandering its cobalt streets feels like stepping into another world. Despite its growing popularity, the town remains peaceful, colorful, and incredibly photogenic, a blue oasis unlike anywhere else on Earth. In Chefchaouen, life is a delicate balance between tradition and its unique blue charm. Isn't that something? How do you build a town in the sky? Meteora's monasteries perch atop giant sandstone pillars, some over 1,000 feet tall, carved by nature, reached by ladders, ropes, or dizzying staircases. Monks once hauled supplies in baskets dangling off cliffs. Today, 6 of the original monasteries remain, and a small community lives in the surrounding valleys. It's a place of spiritual solitude, where you feel smaller than the mountains, but closer to something infinite. Even by Greenland standards, Ittoqqortoormiit is remote. It's one of the most isolated towns on Earth. No roads connect it to the outside world. Sea ice cuts it off for 9 months a year. Supplies come by ship once a year, or by helicopter if you're lucky. Still, around 450 people live here, hunting seals, polar bears, and narwhals. It's a place of staggering beauty. Glaciers, northern lights, and absolute silence. But make no mistake, nature is the boss here. This might be the most breathtaking location for a town, or a church, in the world. Lasa Sanctuary is built directly into a canyon wall, spanning a deep gorge over the Meteora River. Legend says the Virgin Mary appeared here in the 1700s, and over the years, a small town grew around the church, clinging to cliffs connected by bridges surrounded by waterfalls. It looks more like a fantasy castle than a real place, but it's real. And for thousands of pilgrims and curious travelers, it's a reminder that faith and engineering can overcome even gravity. From volcano islands to towns in the sky, these places aren't just rare. They challenge our very idea of where life is possible. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you love strange corners of the world, hit that subscribe button, because this planet is weirder and more beautiful than you ever imagined.